Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rabia Nawaz and my group members are Salamat Ali and Sharon Azad. We have done our project Solar Power Smart Irrigation System under the supervision of Engineer Muhammad Sadiq Orgzai. I'll be presenting the introduction part of this presentation. So starting from the introduction, as we all know that Pakistan has very fertile land, so the major sector of Pakistan's economy depends on the agriculture, which makes Pakistan a great exporter of many agriculture products, which includes rice, cotton, tobacco, etc. To make these exports more profitable, agriculture methods should involve new technology to upgrade the system. According to the World Bank collection of development indicators in 2016, 47.79% of the Pakistan's land area is agricultural land. Farmers use ancient methods for the irrigation which are mostly from tube wells, fetching waters from the wells, and dependency on the rainwater, etc. There is much need for the improvement and upgradation of the irrigation system in Pakistan. These methods of irrigation tends to the wastage of water and needs a lot of hard work and effort. Also due to the electricity crisis in Pakistan, there must be a system that provides ease to the mankind. In this era of the modern world, Pakistani farmers should also shift to the new technology instead of using time taking and tough methods for their agriculture purposes. So we have proposed a system that uses solar power through solar panel to measure the humidity of the soil using soil moisture sensors and then irrigates the field according to the measured level of humidity in the soil. So in short, solar power smart irrigation system is a system that uses solar energy to work efficiently for the purpose of irrigation, and it self-regulates according to the water requirement for the crops. Now moving towards the need and importance of this topic, the Indus Basin Irrigation System IBIS of Pakistan is the fourth largest and amongst the most depleted basins in the world. It supplies water to all sectors and considered the backbone of the economy. The Indus is the main tributary and others are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Sutlej and Kabul. Over the time, the three mega reservoirs, 19 barrages, 12 inter-rivers and 45 irrigation canals and over 120,000 water courses are installed. The agriculture sector plays a vital role in the national economy, contributes 22% to the gross domestic product GDP, employed 45% of the labor force, which is a big percentage. The IBIS has experienced acute water shortages and has been suffering from intensifying stresses in the recent years. Many studies have been conducted to determine the water resources problems, just as the World Bank's Pakistan's water economy running dry. It concluded that the capacity of the reservoirs is insufficient and likely to be declined with increased sedimentation. It would influence on the flows diverted to the canals and the agriculture economy of the country. Furthermore, the population growth will continue to decline the per capita storage. Water demand is increasing in all the sectors like domestic, industrial, food, and energy production with the increase in population. The population growth not only causes urbanization and industrialization but also enhances the living standards. The current population in the basin is 204 million, likely to be 221 million in 2025 and 311 million in 2050. Meanwhile, the per capita water availability will be declined to 809 meter cube in 2025 and 575 meter cube in 2050. As the years passing, per capita increases and per capita resources decreases, which in future can lead to the water depletion. So it is duty of every single person on this planet to save it from water depletion, which might be possible after few years in the future, and even conserve that single drop of water which can be wasted unnecessarily during the irrigation of crops. By working on this project, we can reduce the wastage of water during irrigation. As it is already stated earlier that most of the irrigation systems in Pakistan are manually controlled irrigation system which cannot ensure proper level of water in the field. Sometimes fields become dry and sometimes flooded with excess water, uh, and these conditions are called over and underwatering, which causes significant amount of water wastage and affects the crop productivity. As we know, economy of Pakistan depends on the agriculture, so the important factors to focus on the best crop yield are uninterrupted power supply, accurate amount of water, and use of technology. People living in villages are mostly involved in farming and their incomes are mostly based on farming. Farmers of Pakistan are facing problems for irrigation in which the major problem is overwatering and underwatering. So the major cause of stated problem is sometimes the weather and sometimes the unscheduled irrigation. In this struggling time of Pakistan, our need is to use renewable energy sources, save water, lessen the intense hard work, minimize manual control, and to save crops from harmful insects. So we have proposed a solution for the problem stated, which is a solar power smart irrigation system, and it will be a low price alternative source of electricity, and an automated operation are the key concern of this for the design of this irrigation system. Project is easy to manage when objectives are more understandable. Objectives of the project should be clear as it influences the each and every decision making step of the project. Moreover, the aims and objectives should be quantifiable as it decide whether project will be success or not. As it is clear that our main aim is to design a system that works automatically to irrigate the field using solar power, but then this proposed system that we want to design has some further important aims and objective to achieve. The most important objective of this project is to design a low cost automated irrigation system and to use solar energy efficiently to derive water for irrigation purposes. To make the automated proposed system sustainable option to be considered to improve the irrigation and agriculture efficiency. As automation is all about minimizing the manual intervention, so this would be one of our main target to avoid mismanagement in manually operated system and to ensure proper irrigation in the field on proper time and also reducing the rain dependency for the crop.
My name is Sharon Azad. The objectives and introduction of our project has been discussed by our crew member. She has explained the importance of our project in our society. Now I proceed the further part of our presentation. Some research work has been done regarding to our project, so we have collected the useful data from these research papers. First research paper, which has titled Automated Irrigation System Using Solar Power. This paper proposes the automatic microcontroller based irrigation system. Solar power is used in replace of grid power, which conserves the electricity of grid power station. Sensors are placed on paddy field, and these sensors continuously sense the moisture level and give the message to farmer. Without visiting the field, the farmer can get information about water level. Farmer can control water pump by sending a message from the mobile phone. If the water level is kept very low, water pump will be on with or without confirmation of farmer. No surplus power will be utilized at the rest of irrigation part. Second research paper, which has titled Microcontroller Based Automatic Plant Irrigation System. This paper was designed for only plants. The system is controlled by 8051 microcontroller. Temperature and humidity sensors are placed near the plant field. Microcontroller is programmed as giving an interrupt signal to sprinkler system when the change in temperature and humidity of surrounding sensed by the sensor and gives the interrupt signal to microcontroller, and thus microcontroller activates the sprinkler for the sake of irrigation of field. Solar power, GSM module and spray module are not used in the system. Third research paper which has titled Solar Smart Irrigation System, which was published in 2014. This system consists of solar powered water pump along with an automatic water flow by using soil moisture sensor. Soil moisture sensor in this system Soil moisture sensor in this system senses the water content of a field and gives the feedback to the controller. Controller will decide either irrigating the field or not. Fourth research paper which has titled Solar Powered Smart Irrigation System. Cost effective solar power can be answer to all of our energy crisis. Solar powered smart irrigation system can be answer to all poor and needy farmers. This system consists of solar powered water pump using soil moisture sensor. This system conserves electricity by reducing the usage of grid power and also reduce the water losses in our flood condition of irrigation because of manual irrigation system. In this system, outlet valve is controlled by the controller and water level indicator is used in this system. And then the last research paper which has titled Automated Smart Irrigation System, which can be implemented on large as well as small scales. Sensors are placed in the field which are responsible for both monitoring and controlling the whole irrigation system. Fertilization is also incorporated into this system via performing timely injection of dissolved and liquid nutrition into irrigation pipes. Fault in the power supply and irrigation are carefully monitored and an alarm is issued whenever an emergency arises. Both the pH and temperature of soil are continuously monitored by sensors. User can remotely control the proposed this system via their mobile phones. The following features explains the methodology of our project, which are Arduino, GSM module, Sulfurous power, spray module and buzzer. Our entire project is controlled by Arduino Mega, which has 54 input or output pins, of which 15 can be used as PWM output. 16 analog input, 4 hardware serial ports, a 16 MHz crystal oscillator, a USB connection and a power jack. Now GSM module. By using GSM module, we can get information about moisture content of land via SMS. We can turn on or off the water pump by sending on or off command via SMS. GSM module is consists of GSM modem, which assembled with power supply circuit and communication interfaces for computers. GSM modem is main part of such modules. Surplus power. As the irrigation of field is completed, the power produced from solar panel is kept leftover, which means extra power. We utilize this extra power to domestic purpose and supply this extra power to a home. Then water pump. The battery gets charged from solar panel by using control circuit. Solar panel provides variable power which is due to irradiance of sunlight. The water pump takes power from battery and pumps the water from the tank and provide to field, which provides automatic water flow to the field. Then spray module. Spray module consists of spray tank, pipes and spray nozzle. In spray tank, chemical dissolve into water forming liquid. This liquid is pumped from spray tank provided to spray nozzle to create a spray on crop. In our project, crop will be sprayed in after every 3.5 minutes. Then buzzer. Buzzer produces beep sound at starting of irrigation, which indicates that the irrigation has been started.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Slamat Ali. I'm going to explain you proposed diagram of our project. In this diagram, solar panel will charge battery with the help of charge controller. and this power will be supplied to all components of our project. Basically, there are two modes of operation for our project. First one is auto mode and second one is user defined mode. In auto mode, there will be no use of GSM. All actions performed will be based on Arduino's programming. Initially, when water pump and spray module both are off, supply will be given to house. After this, soil moisture sensor will sense moisture in the field. If there is no moisture, buzzer will produce a sound and water pump will be on. This pump will remain on until we attain a certain level of water. When we attain that moisture level, pump will be off. Spray module will be on after a fixed delay. That delay can vary crop to crop and region to region. Second mode of operation is user defined mode. In this mode of operation, GSM will connect Arduino to my mobile. Initially, when water pump and spray module are off, supply will be given to house and a message will be displayed on mobile. After this, sensor will sense moisture in the field. If field is dry, a message will be displayed that do you want to on the pump? If you send yes, pump will be on, and if you send no, pump will remain on off until you send a yes command. Spray module will be on after a fixed delay and all actions performed will be displayed on mobile. In experimental results, we have achieved following results after completing this project. Number 1. Reduction of manpower. There is no need of manpower for irrigation and spraying the crops. All things will be done automatically. Second, water and time saving. There will be no wastage of water and time because sensors are calibrated for a certain level of water. Third, cost efficient. In this project, we have to invest once. After that, with the help of solar panel, we can provide electricity to our house and save a lot of money on electricity bills. Fourth, remote intimation system to user. With the help of GSM, user will be able to give instructions to project and control irrigation. Fifth, surplus power will be supplied to house. When water pump and spray module both are off, then supply will be given to house and ensure effective use of solar panels. In our project, complete simulation of project was not possible because of GSM module used in the project. So we are just inserting Proteus based diagram having all components of complete project. In this picture, you can see hardware components that are being used in the project. We have used a battery that is giving supply to complete project. Soil moisture sensors that are sensing moisture level in the field and producing zeros and ones at their output. Water pump that is irrigating the field when there is no moisture in the field. Spray module that is spraying the crops after a fixed delay. A buzzer that is producing a sound when there is no moisture in the field. An Arduino that will give instructions to all components to perform specific tasks. A GSM that will connect Arduino to our mobile and all performed actions will be displayed on our mobile. In this slide, we have compared our project with published work of whom we are giving references in reference section. We have chosen 4 main components that are being used in these projects. These are moisture sensor, temperature sensor, solar powered and GSM module. Let me start with our project. In our project, we have used moisture sensor, we haven't used temperature sensor, we have used solar power and we have also used GSM module. Second project is plant monitoring system. They have used moisture sensor, they have used temperature sensor, they haven't used solar power, they haven't used GSM module. Third, smart irrigation water system. They have used moisture sensor, they haven't used temperature sensor, they have used solar power, they haven't used GSM module. Solar power auto irrigation using GSM module. They have used moisture sensor, they haven't used temperature sensor, they have used solar power, and they also have used GSM module. Arduino based smart irrigation system using IoT. They have used moisture sensor, they also have used temperature sensor, they haven't used solar power, and they also have used GSM module. Last one, solar powered smart irrigation. They have used moisture sensor, they haven't used temperature sensor, they have used solar power, and they haven't used GSM module. I am concluding my presentation with this. Solar powered smart irrigation system will provide water to crops when there is no moisture in the field. It will spray the crops after a fixed delay. This delay varies crops to crops and region to region. A buzzer will produce a sound when there is no moisture in the field. When water pump and spray module both are off, supply will be given to house. With the help of GSM, you will be able to see and control all the functions on your mobile. The softwares we used in our projects are Arduino and Proteus. We haven't made any change in objectives of our project and implement it as same as it was approved earlier.
So here we will be discussing the attain complex engineering problems attributes. So the purpose of final year project is to expose the students to the complex engineering design project with an emphasis on working with constraints. In developing their solutions, students have to consider the triple bottom line, incorporating financial, social, and environmental constraints. A holistic approach to sustainable development is critical, and that interrelationships and interdependencies must be recognized between people, the environment, and the economy as core requirements of sustainable development. The table shown below shows the Washington Accord attributes for a range of engineering activities and how these have been addressed in our final year project, and also shows the attributes for problem solving and how these are addressed in our project. So the first attribute that I'll discuss in depth is depth of analysis required. So this attribute explains that when the problem have no obvious solution and required abstract thinking, originality in analysis to formulate suitable models, there is no prescribed solution to this project. Creative thinking in terms of the product concept, its technical and augmented features, and the application of appropriate technologies to deliver the concept is the central idea of this project. So we have analyzed the problem which were related to the agriculture field, and the most common problem that we find was irrigation, so we proposed this project as a solution. The second attribute is depth of knowledge required, which explains that the stated problem cannot be resolved without in-depth engineering knowledge, which allows a fundamental based first principle analytical approach. So we have gained greater technical knowledge in the area of engineering specialization. From the work done of this project, it is evident that we have called on all the existing knowledge as well as specifically identify new knowledge to identify, evaluate, and define specific design solutions within the contextual constraints. Many people have made researches in this field. We have studied those research papers that covered our area of work to get the appropriate knowledge which was required to complete this project. Overall, the project is ambitious and technically challenging, but eventually we have risen to the challenge. Our project fully meets the Washington Accord requirements. Now we have following attributes shown in the table. The project was split into the four phases. The first defines the project relating to market research, regularity requirements, and sustainability. The second phase develops detailed product design specification, including preliminary prototyping to resolve technical uncertainties, and includes a comprehensive analysis of ethical and sustainability impacts of our design. Phase 3 includes design for manufacturers, including implementing a working prototype of our design. The final phase is developing a commercialization plan, including production and marketing planning with sustainability as a core marketing platform. So moving towards next attributes, we have interdependence, which explains that the project may have high level problems including many components, parts, or sub problems. So in our case, we have submodules that are interlinked with each other, and our project explains working of each and every single component used in the system, and moreover explains the working of submodules in depth. Next, we have extent of stakeholder involvement and conflicting requirements, which involve diverse groups of stakeholders with widely varying needs. As we have designed a system that would be able to save energy, water, time, and more importantly, it would minimize excessive effort. So these factors are need of the present era. Our project covers the industrial interest as well as the common man needs. So stakeholder identification, definition, and resolution of conflicting needs are an important basis of the project. Stakeholders may include manufacturers and distributors. Last but not the least, we have consequences to society and the environment. Our project has significant consequences in a range of contexts, characterized by difficulty of prediction and mitigation. Our project has significant consequences as it will affect the environment in a positive way to make farming and agriculture field good option for young generation in the future as it will help to introduce technology in agriculture field.